Tickets for a school dance were sold over a 3-day period. 2/5 of the tickets were sold on Wednesday, 53 tickets were sold on Thursday, and 3/7 of the remaining tickets were sold on Friday. If there are 4 tickets left over, how many tickets were there at the beginning of the ticket sale? What you see here is the question in smaller font, the exact same question with a couple of pictures. Now let's reread the question once again. 2/5 of the tickets were sold on Wednesday. So if this is what this started with on Wednesday, this whole rectangle is what this started with on Wednesday. They sold 2/5 of it. And this was left, and this was left for Thursday. They sold 53 tickets on Thursday, and something was left, whatever was left. 3/7 of all those tickets were sold on Friday, and this was left. Once we get that, we're going to start working backwards. So let's erase everything. So we're going to use the technique called working backwards to work on this problem. The very last statement that we have that gives us some numerical information is this: if there are 4 tickets left over. So this is what they were left with on Friday. And according to the question, this unshaded piece represents 4. And since all the pieces are the same size, each has to be 1, has to be. Otherwise, the leftover won't be 4. Now, if each square represents 1, these squares will also represent 1. And that tells me that on Friday, they started with 7 tickets. So when they came to the little kiosk to sell the tickets on Friday, they had 7 tickets left for Friday. That also tells me that after they sold 53 tickets on Thursday, they were left with 7 tickets. So on Thursday, before they started selling tickets, they must have had 60 tickets. So how do we know that? Because they sold 53 tickets and they were left with 7 tickets, so they must have had 60 tickets in the morning on Thursday. That tells me on Wednesday they were left with 60 tickets. After they sold their 2/5 of the tickets on Wednesday, they were left with 60 tickets. That means this whole thing should represent 60. And that tells me each box better be 20. Otherwise, it won't work out. Well, if each of these boxes is 20, this has to be 20 as well. This has to be 20 as well. Well, how many tickets did they start with on Wednesday? How many tickets did they have at the beginning of the ticket sale? My answer would be 20 times 5 or 100. That's my answer. 100 tickets. You can work backwards and get to your answer. And you can always check your answer by going through the motion once again. You start with 100 tickets. You sell 2/5. 1/5 of 100 is 20. 2/5 of 100 is 40. You sell 40 tickets. You're left with 60. Okay, Thursday morning you have 60 tickets. You sell 53 of them. You're left with 7. For Friday, you come to your ticket kiosk and you see 7 tickets and you sold 3/7. 1/7 of 7 is 1. 3/7 of 7 is 3. You sold 3 tickets. Excuse me, and you're left with 4 tickets. So that has to be the right answer. We just checked it. So I have another problem for you, just like the one we just did. The context is identical except for the fractions and the numbers. I want to see if you can work it out on your own. And the answer to this question appears right below the video in the description of the video area. So click that part and see the answer and see if you can justify. Actually, the good thing about a problem like this, you can always double check your answer by just going back to the question and working it out. So you know if you're right.